we're going to chat a little bit about the benefits of homeschooling your child with autism, and then we're going to talk about good homeschooling curriculum for a child with autism. So make sure you listen to the end so you can get my curriculum recommendations, ones that will be particularly good for a child with autism. As you probably know, a lot of people are starting to homeschool their child with autism because it's becoming more and more of a viable alternative. One reason a lot of people are choosing to homeschool is because it's so much more flexible an option than sending your child to a traditional school. And for kids with autism, flexibility is so important. If you see your child is reacting to something, you can often change direction and do something completely different. Or you can wait till another day completely and do it then. Wait for another day when tensions are lower. You can do that if you homeschool. Another benefit of homeschooling is that you can teach to a child's individual needs. If they need a customizable plan, you can not only make the plan like a lot of schools do, but you can do it to the letter. Often schools just don't have the resources. They don't have another person there to help with these sorts of things. And so your child just gets left by the wayside, and it's really sad. So at home, let's say you want to organize a really great learning environment for your child with autism. He finds it really exhausting looking at all these different things. Well, you can do things like declutter your shelves so things just aren't as confusing for your child with autism, and get them out of his life so all of a sudden he can focus on the work he's doing. Perhaps a customizable education will also involve switching to a different curriculum and changing things up a little bit more than he was used to so that you find what works for him. Or perhaps it will involve letting them learn the way they want to learn in, and in a manner they are most comfortable with learning in. Where on earth is that green sheet? You know, children with autism have really unique learning styles, and the wonderful thing about homeschooling is that you can cater for those learning styles in a way that you just don't see it being catered for in a traditional school. This can really help improve a child's academic performance and well-being. But another benefit of homeschooling is that you can really reduce the sensory overload for them. Homeschooling means children can learn in a calmer, more relaxed environment. And what does this do? This lets the child really relax and unwind and finally have space to relax and enjoy what they're doing. And of course, homeschooling allows more one-on-one time with the child. Hey little bud, if you have a child at home, you can really sit down with them and talk them through how to regulate their emotions themselves. But if the child goes to school, they have all these meltdowns and it goes into a negative feedback cycle, and things get often worse and worse until you can't get them in the car in the first place to get them to school. Another thing about schools is the social aspect. Goodness me, if you stuck me into a school with 30 other people and said, okay, socialize all day, my brain as an introvert would be bang. And hey, I don't even have autism. And so expecting really young kids to do this, and especially kids with autism, well, no wonder they burn out and have all of these blow-ups. Of course it makes them want to scream. So takeaway message is homeschool your child with autism. Let's talk about curriculum now. And by the way, if you are loving this video on homeschooling, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about homeschooling, so if you are thinking about homeschooling, it is the best channel for you. Okay, curriculum. So we're going to start with number 10, and then we're going to go all the way down to number 1, which I think is probably the best homeschool curriculum for children with autism. So get a pen and paper and take some notes. Now, don't forget that I'm going to leave all the links for all of these curriculum programs in the description box below. So if you need to get and find those curriculum, I'll have them recapped in the description box below just in case you forget some of them, with the links to the curriculum as well. Let's get started. The first one I have for you is Easy Peasy All-in-One. Now this is a completely free homeschool program, and I think it's good for autism because a child can do it at their own pace. It doesn't require a parent to teach them. They can do it independently. So all you need to do is you need to go to, I think it's Easy Peasy All-in-One. It's either .com or .org, I think. You just need to go there. You can either print off the PDFs or the child can do it online. There are some videos, so they'll have to hop back on for that if need be, but it's really fantastic. And by the way, for all these curriculum, I went on Facebook and I talked to the homeschool mums about what was the best homeschool curriculum for children with autism. So these are all recommendations that other homeschool mums with autism have found helpful. Number 9 is IXL. Now this program is a secular homeschool program. It's all online, so all the grading is done for you. The child can just go online and do the work themselves, especially if they're that little bit older. Everything is very bright and in your face, and children with autism tend to love this program. Number 8 is accelerated Christian education. Now with this one, you get a whole bunch of paces which are delivered to your door, and the child can just open them and do them as he goes on. This is very similar to Christian light education, and the child gets a whole lot of satisfaction out of being able to complete these paces every 3 or 4 or maybe 5 or 6 weeks and put them aside and say that is done. In place number 7, we have the Sonlight curriculum, which is a literature-based program. Now in this curriculum, it's a bit of a mix between the great books in classical education and the living books in a Charlotte Mason education. The aim is to learn, be educated through reading a book. So everything is taught through living storybooks. It's very entertaining, and this is in contrast to what you see in a lot of schools that burns out a lot of kids with autism. It's just boring textbooks, and the kids don't get a story, and they don't get it, and they don't like it, and then after school they dump the subject because hey, it's so boring. You don't get that with Sonlight, and that's why Sonlight is a really good curriculum for children with autism. In place number 6, we have BJU Press. I love this program. I use it with my own children, and that is because there are lots of options. It is really exceptionally high quality. The books, the printing, everything jumps from the page. It's beautiful, and everything is written from a biblical worldview. The aim is for every subject a child studies is to teach them through that lens of the Bible. Now with BJU Press, you have options. You can either choose the spiral-based option where you get the teacher's manual and you can teach that to your children yourself, or what I prefer as a busy homeschool mom and as somebody who runs her own business, the mastery-based approach, which is where you get video lessons for them, which doesn't cost a whole lot more than the teacher's lessons. And the BJU Press teachers do that all through video lessons online. So the child can pretty much teach themselves with the video lessons, which is so wonderful. I can clean the kitchen, I can, wash my clothes, I can fold them in the morning, I can play with my 2-year-old while my child who is school age does his schoolwork by himself. I love that. And I can be in the background seeing what he is learning, and sometimes learning myself a little bit, which I love. So I do like BJU Press. It's probably my favorite. If you want something a little bit more offline, there is Lifepac, which comes in at number 5. So Lifepac, you'll get a box to the door. This is by Alpha Omega Publications, who also do Monarch and Horizons. But Lifepac, you'll get a package to the door. It's mastery based, so the child can do all of these books by themselves. So in that way, it's a little bit like accelerated Christian education. But in my experience, people tend to like Lifepac a little bit more. Lifepac is a little bit more expensive than accelerated Christian education, but I think it's a really great program, and it just really depends what you want as well. And number 4, we have Reading Eggs. Now this is just a learn to read program as well as a elementary math program, but it's very bright. There's lots and lots of colors involved, lots of animations, and the child it's almost like Candy Crush in a learn to read app. And so a lot of kids really love this program because of that. And again, it's a really good curriculum for homeschooling and for a child with autism. Number 3, we have Christian Light Education, which is again those paces. This was very much recommended by a lot of homeschool moms online on Facebook forums who were chatting about the best program for kids with autism. With these particular paces, it only takes 2 or 3 weeks to complete each one, so the child can put it aside fairly quickly. The child gets a confidence boost every time they put it aside, so this program is a great option, especially when compared with traditional education that you see in school, which is very much for visual learners. Number 2 is Apologia. I love this program. I have recently done a review on it as well, and it is just fantastic because the books are written in a storybook-like fashion, kind of Charlotte Mason living book style. The child can read and be educated through storybooks. The books also often aim to have a really amazing moral component to it. Apologia is, and you really should know this before you purchase it, it is a creation science background to it. And so they teach everything again through that biblical creationist worldview lens, which will be a big hit for a lot of homeschool parents, but it is something that you need to know if that is not what you believe in as well. But Apologia is used by so many people. It is the top science program. People love it. They cover things like botany, chemistry, maths, physics, astronomy, nature study, lots and lots of different things, and they do it in a really, they do it really well. You get an amazing lab kit. You can also get online video lessons if you want to with Apologia, and so it's just a massive hit and a great choice if you have a child with autism. And number one, I think I need a drum roll here, is Masterbooks. Masterbooks was consistently on these forums rated as number one, and let me tell you why. It's because it's a Charlotte Mason curriculum and they have really short lessons. It's a fairly easy program, but the child can go on and do more if they want to and do it at their own pace. It's written like a storybook and it's not at all complicated, and so it's not going to confuse your child with autism. Now, Masterbooks has a full curriculum, so you can get all the different subjects you'll need in the Masterbooks curriculum, which again will hopefully not be confusing for your child.